The European Union and Jordan are holding their first joint summit in Amman. They aim to strengthen political and economic relations as the bloc looks to play a stabilising role in a region ravaged by conflict. But the talks are overshadowed by the 500,000 Syrian refugees who've been living in Jordan for more than 10 years. The EU has funded refugee camps and host communities, but it's feared more people may move in as regional tensions are on the rise. DW's Tessa Walther now reports from the Zatari refugee camp in Jordan's northern border.
Adel Tukan and his wife are getting ready for the day ahead. He fled Syria together with his family when the civil war broke out. For more than a decade, they've been living here in the Zatari refugee camp in northern Jordan.
Half of my life is gone. I couldn't establish roots. No future for my kids, no work. 15 years here, totally lost.
Like many Syrians who fled for their safety, Adel has no prospect of working legally or building a future in Jordan. But returning to Syria is not an option either, and the Jordanian government would never force them out. For decades, Jordan has been taking on people fleeing from conflict from across the Middle East. First Palestinians, then Iraqis, and lastly Syrians. They live in cities across Jordan and in refugee camps like this one here in Zatari, putting pressure on the economy, water, and also public services. In the capital, Amman, opinions about their presence are mixed.
The refugees are our brothers. We stand with them.
Jordan is already struggling politically and economically, and the refugees add an extra burden. I think they should go home, because sometimes they can cause problems here.
To support refugees in camps such as Zatari, now more like small cities, Jordan has received substantial aid from partners like the European Union. It has improved living conditions, but critics say it has also helped Europe limit refugee arrivals at its own borders. Now, with regional tensions rising, experts say Jordan is looking to deepen its partnership with the EU, using this first-ever summit to boost cooperation that supports both refugees and Jordanians.
Jordan now is being surrounded by all kinds of risks and threats of instability coming from the south of Syria, the risk of terrorism, risks coming as well from the West Bank, and the possible escalation that might happen. And this is why Jordan needs a strong ally like the EU.
Their goal: Europe and Jordan want to work together to help broker lasting peace in the Middle East. One big fear: a new influx of Palestinian refugees from the West Bank should Israel annex the territory, because many people there have a Jordanian passport. Back in Zatari, Adel Tukan is still holding on to hope that one day his life will change.
I hope that one day we will go home to our country and live in a house of our own. My kids will go to school, get an education. We will live a stable life, me and my family.
But as tensions in the Middle East continue to rise, that dream still feels out of reach.
Tessa Walther filed that report and joins us now from Jordan, where this EU-Jordan summit, the first of its kind, is taking place. Tessa, the issue of refugees will clearly be a major focus of this summit. What is it that the EU is hoping to achieve?
Well, for the EU, this is a very important summit here because it means it wants to strengthen its cooperation for several reasons. Jordan is seen as a stable country in the region, one of the only stable ones in a region that is drawn more and more into conflict. Also, Jordan, and that's the argument, is by stabilising Jordan, it is stabilising the region. And why is the EU so interested in stabilisation? Well, because instability and conflict means people have to potentially leave their homes, find refuge in different countries, areas of the world, and this is something Jordan wants to avoid, but also the European Union. Secondly, they also want to make sure that people can start returning to Syria voluntarily. So here today they talked about how to ensure these voluntary returns, enabling Syria to build up economically, politically, so that they want to go back and find a way to go back. And then thirdly, and this is very important for the European Union geopolitically speaking, It has struggled to make its voice heard in the Middle Eastern peace process. And here, Jordan and the European Union have one single idea that is shared, and this is the two-state solution. They want the Palestinian people to have a future in the region, and here the European Union hopes to pull its weight together with Jordan to participate, to secure a seat at the negotiation table together to make their voice heard in the future.
Now, Tessa, do we know if any concrete decisions have come out of the summit yet?
Well, one concrete decision is the implementation of the 3 billion euros that the European Union has promised Jordan. And what they want to do is host a meeting in the next month. And there, this investment is set to be settled on how it is spent. So Jordan obviously is interested in that money because it has struggled in the recent decades and recent years by hosting millions of refugees. We had Palestinians, Iraqis, and then recently Syrians. And as we heard in the report, still 500,000 are here in this country, and they need to be hosted. And this has put a major toll on the country. So with this money, they want to continue fund Jordan in hosting these people, but they also want to help ordinary Jordanians build a future. We have, just to give you one number, 16% of people here that are unemployed, that want to make a living but cannot find a job. So here with this money, they want to create employment opportunities, invest in education, also in infrastructure, youth empowerment. So this is something that will be discussed next month. And we can see that Jordan really is looking into European eyes to make a future here a bit brighter, and looking into these investments from the interior to make the future prospects here.
DW's Tessa Walther there reporting from Jordan. Thank you very much, Tessa.